Hello, St. Luke. Our well wishers. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let's rejoice and let's be glad today. I'm Pastor T.C. Johnson. We're here at the St. Luke Christian Church at 1800 Sparkman Drive in Huntsville, Alabama, where God is with us, seeking to save. I can't say it too often. God want to use you as a conduit to reach someone else. And you can only do that by godly behavior, conduct, and attitude. People ought to see the joy of the Lord operational in your life, in your action. That doesn't mean that things are always going well. But when you say, I'm in the Lord's hand, realize that He checked your day before you got to your day. And if there was anything there disadvantageous to you, He altered it in a way to even going through, there's a blessing on the other side. And even going through, you'll be made even the better by the things that God allow you to be exposed and become experienced in. So that's how He shapes us. And when people see that you're not down and out and mad and sad and broken and just by things that happen in life, they know, how do you do it? The door is open. I know a man named Jesus that said He's always with me. He'd never leave me nor forsake me. Yeah, I'm not supposed to be preaching right there. Just wanted to do our announcements, and we have a few first. Certainly want to thank God for our young people and Sunday's worship leadership on their behalf. The children sang. Even our nursery babies came out to bless us, and I want to thank our church for having such a large heart and a large space for young people. We're certainly thankful for those who work so hard. Minister Ron Brooks, Alicia Ford, Sister Burvitt, Sister Burvitt, Warner. And I'm going to miss some names. That's going to mess stuff up. So let me just stop trying to name it. There's so many others that work with those kids. Did a magnificent job on Sunday. Kirsten prayed and the choir sang. So we thank God. We thank God for Minister Claudine Johnson and music leadership, and Minister Sidney Williams for a rich word that was convictive, if you will, and challenging as well. Our announcements. So these are midweek announcements. First of all, it's July, and normally we don't have any kind of Bible study, anything going in July. I'm going to try to come a couple of times with the first couple of weeks for announcements, and then the end of the last 2 weeks in the month. More than likely, we won't do any of that. We'll have announcements over the newsletter. But this week, it's still time for you can volunteer. So many came by the gym last week and volunteered for different ministries. If you want to get involved with the ministries, the doors are open. This is the planning time, preparing for our next season of ministry here at St. Luke. And we need people in a number of places. Thank those of you who've already signed up. We'll be reaching out to you. You can still volunteer. Just use the URL code or on Facebook, or go to the newsletter and follow the instruction there and register. I want to be a part of whatever ministry, and there are a number of them that you can be a part of. This Friday, which will be the 5th, is the last chance to register your child for the middle school life group trip to Birmingham. Grades 6 through 8 are going to be taking a trip to Birmingham. Some exposure and some fun or recreation as well will be going on there. So check that out on our Facebook page to register your 6th through the 8th grade on that trip. Continue to pray for our college age students. The life group 9 through 12th grade, they're going to be going out to tour colleges. That is already closed. They've already gotten prepared, already had their orientation. They're preparing to leave to go to several colleges next week. So keep them in prayer. Ask God to put His hand around, keep them safe. And certainly we want them to remember that they represent the Lord Jesus Christ. in the highest extreme, but they also represent the St. Luke Christian Church. So we want to pray that their behavior does just that. Food pantry, they got native items, and let me just thank our volunteers who operate that food pantry. I'm not gonna call in a name, but I've heard some talk about one who just asked people to participate and bring food, and she does that. She asks them to do that. Now, if you're not gonna do it, don't worry about it. It's not something that you're gonna. If you feel like you do enough, you do enough. But I want to thank her for being asserting herself in a way that people can participate in this ministry. I always remember what Jesus said when he did the eulogy of the church in the Gospels. He said these words: "I was hungry, I was outdoors, I was naked, I was sick, I was in jail." Your response to that will determine whether or not the Lord knows you. And so when you bring a can or canned goods or whatever it is you're bringing, you are helping to feed the poor in honor of what Jesus said. There's nowhere in the passage, in the whole confine of Holy Writ, where he's going to look at you by your achievements educationally, academically, financially, or otherwise. The eulogy of the church says, "I was hungry." And for those of you who are participating in the ministry on whatever end, if all you're doing is dropping off whatever every now and then, Jesus said, "I was hungry." And you are participating in ministry when you do that. So we thank God for those working. They did give me a list of things: canned fruit, canned soup, saltine crackers, peanut butter, and jelly seem to be going. You're like, wow, because people don't have to, they don't have, a lot of the homeless don't have any way to cook. So things that they can eat. They're asking for spaghetti, noodles, and sauce as well, and cereal. That's a big thing. All you have to do is place these items in the bin located in the foyer, and they'll get them to the food pantry. And I'm telling you, every day we're blessing somebody here. To say you're blessing someone, because it's through your giving that we're able to do what we do. Be sure to keep those on the prayer list. And I said this last week, I'll say this again. I hear a lot of conversation about what's going on, not just locally or in the nation, but globally. And people with prophecy and prophetic ministries talking about it. I listened to some. But Jesus said, "Let not your heart be troubled." Let not your heart be troubled. I've said this before. I think we're in a correction period. How we get through it, I don't know. Before every birth, there is labor, intense labor sometimes. And America, and perhaps even the world, is going through some labor pains for a better day. For a better day. Let me just say it that way. So I want you to pray for our prayer list folk. We have them on the prayer list. Pray for Brother Reverend Dr. Gregory Smith, my friend. Over the years, pray for Greg, that God would hold him in the very hollow of his hands, that God will keep him. And I'm praying that the Lord defies the doctor's analytical perspective. I told him the life of Greg Smith is in the hands of the Lord, and we're going to be praying. And we know they're good hands, and he's able. So keep Greg in prayer. Don't stop praying for Mother Foreman and our elders, Mother Ellison, Deacon Ellison, who's here almost every Sunday. Deacon Ellison's 93 years old. Continue to pray for him. Deacon Ransom, we saw him again. He's just a joy, a sight to the sore eyes, as Grandmama could say. Shirley Shun, don't forget to pray for Shirley, and all of our Audrey and Mother Dixon, and all of our elder, Mother Hicks. Don't forget to pray for them. Patrick Higgins, don't forget to pray for Patrick and Brother Billy Humphrey. Continue to pray for them. And I may miss Brother Billy Burrs. Continue to pray for Brother Burrs. He's been down a while, and the doctors gave him up a long time ago. But God, you see, God is able. We want to pray. We want to pray for them. We want to pray for those in war-torn countries, those who don't have what we have by way of comfort. So we want to continue to pray that the Lord will help heal and the Lord will deliver. Keep the Burns family in prayer. Keep the Burns family in prayer. Just pray for them. Just pray for the Burns family. The God will heal their broken hearts. Just pray for the Burns family as well. Minister Crystal Watson's mom, name slipped right by me just then. But ask the Lord, Lord, lay your healing hands on her. Lay your healing hands on her. God, give her rest, peace for her soul, and rest, and ease all the pain. God, just He can do that. And so this evening we want to just do announcements. And when we come back for a word of worship, be sure you govern yourself by the announcements. And I need to add, for those of us who are not used to the heat, be sure to take care of yourself and keep yourself dehydrated. Keep a couple of bottles of water in the car in case you get stranded someplace. You'll have some water to drink. If you're going a long way, see if you can get a small cooler with some ice in it from point A to point B. And just in the event that something happens, you'll be able to take care of yourself. Listen, this is Pastor T.C. Johnson. We're here at the St. Luke Christian Church, where God is with us, seeking to save. We'll see you later with a word and worship.